Is this the new house or still the
Yes,
old house?
yes. Please continue.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing is documentation. Documentation. Let us learn to document things and never assume. If you make payments, document it. So that tomorrow, if an issue should come up, what you have as documentary evidence will be used if it gets to the level of litigation. Even in mediation, documentary evidence is highly recommended and used in resolving disputes pa- between parties. There is one issue I have currently, that people jump into businesses that are not realistic. I call them white elephant businesses, where they give you unrealistic return on investment. The truth is, uh, it's a scam, because at the end of the day, you don't know who your partner is. You don't know how to go about getting back your funds. In fact, you are at the mercy of God. You are you are the mercy of God. I don't want to call it get rich quick syndrome. So in a nutshell, for I know this talk ought to exceed this. In a nutshell, these are the things we are expected to do, the pitfalls we should try to avoid in
Yeah.
doing business in Nigeria. Like I said at the beginning, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria are not doing these things. When we go to CAC, we see documentations not updated, and when they come to us for fund, that's why some of you come to some agencies for loan, for funds to run your business, you may end up not getting it. At least I have been able to screen and vetted so many while I was back in Nigeria with Smedan. You end up it's disheartening, is disturbing, and it's not a very nice trend. And it's something that we should, as members of this association, try to avoid, particularly those people who are into full-time business and those people who are also into professional services. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I actually really did enjoy your talk,
Thank
and
you.
I'm looking forward to the physical masterclass. Please, is there anyone who has a question? If you have a question, just quickly indicate. But Mr. Paul, I want to just ask you one or two questions, if that's okay. I know I'm
No,
the
that's fine.
moderator, but I'm also learning. So if you
It's all
don't
right.
mind, I would like to ask you questions. So about trademark, and you talked about registering your logo as a trademark, something like that, trademark registrations.
Yes, yes. For some businesses, for example, I have seen some of our sisters who are into fashion and designing. There are some logos that are peculiar to you. There are some designs that are peculiar to you that may stand the test of time. We just design these things, we put it out there, and there are no follow-ups. Those things should be registered. It helps. Our business logos, we have a business, let's say Paul and Sophia Enterprise, and we want to have a very unique logo that will stand for the next 10, 15 years. It's important, because if it's not registered, sometimes you will see companies with similar name or close similar logo, and somebody goes to trademark, and trademark says, Mr. A, whose business is older, only registered, sought to register his logo in a much later date. That you will lose that privilege, and you'll be asked to drop that logo. So if you have a peculiar logo, if you have a peculiar idea, you can even those people into music, your copyrights, that should go to the relevant establishment, the Ministry of Commerce, and have it duly registered. As scientists, you patent your ideas, it becomes yours for the next, it should be, is it for the next 25 years, also subject to innovations.
Okay, so now my question is, how about foundations, or is it just peculiar to businesses? How about businesses, the registrations under Part C, where you have the churches, the foundations, and all of that? Is you're saying that logo is peculiar to every form of registration, right? Not
Yes,
just okay.
every form of
All right,
registration, every
thank
form,
you.
yes, every form.
Okay, okay. Um, I also want to ask a question about businesses with spouses. So when you were talking about businesses with family members and all of that. Whether we like it or not, somehow I know that at some point in our lives, we'll have to, have a sort of dealing with family members. And I know how, I don't know if it is um, there's this word I've forgotten, but this word where men kind of dominate. I'm trying not to call that word, but the point I'm trying to make is because of the sensitive nature of our society, sometimes when you see women who are probably doing well, they want to purchase a property, sometimes they face some form of judgment when you hear that probably they are putting the property in their name or something. Or I just want you to talk a bit about that, just very little, please, just for enlightenment purposes.
Well,
Truth
okay.
is,
Yes.
yeah. And then I've also seen cases where the man will say, I'm not entering that house because the house is in the woman's name. So until you change your name, or until, I don't know. I know that sometimes it's a complex thing, but I think the issue should not really be about patronizing the person who is feeling like the victim. I want it by way of knowledge for you, the person who wants to develop yourself or who wants to get these things. Like I just wanted, I want us to get it right. So can you please talk a bit about that?
Okay, in law, legal personality is not, there's no duality of legal personality. Two persons cannot become one person in law. If I'm married to my learner senior Sophia, Sophia is Sophia, Paul is Paul. When we want to go into any transaction, it should remain so. The problem is, I know the word you don't want to use is, it's Nigeria. Nigeria is a man's society, and it has affected. No, I'm being realistic. I have handled divorce cases. These are issues that keeps coming up. Where the woman bought a property in her name, and he refused, or she refused to transfer same to. The truth is, I'm a very blunt person. What belongs to you belongs to you. And if that becomes an issue, let parties sit down and discuss it. If I want to buy a land, it cannot be Paul and Sophia as one party, as the assigner, or as the and China and those it will be Paul as when this also refers to as his assigner, his children, his next of kin, blah blah blah. So there is no duality of legal personality in known to law. This also applies to business. I have always said, and I'll continue to say, we don't pray and hope that marriages will go south. And the purpose of entering this agreement is not for marriages to go south, but when you want to go into a business with your husband, with your spouse, please let us put it down in black and white. Let the person understand. If you cannot talk to that person, if it means calling your lawyer, I've sat down. I don't want to call names of some people here that I told them, your husband your husband's property is quality, but legally his name is there. The property belongs to at best. So we need to understand. Please, husband shouldn't know. It belongs to her as long as her name is there. That is why we advise register a company where two of you can be co-shareholders, co-directors, and you can have equal say and equal power on as regards that particular business.
Okay, so thank you very much. I also know that we're going to have the masterclass where we're going to talk about things about opening our eyes for responsibilities of business holders as it regards disclosure of information, money laundering issues, and all of that. I know we're going to come there, but the very last thing I just want you to talk about businesses with friends. Would you advise friends who want to come together to do a business to go into a joint venture agreement?
Yes, parties, friends can come in and do a business, just like you have called it, joint venture agreement. Come together, do a joint. Most companies around the world where friends coming together, they have passed on, their children continue. At some point, they handed over the business to administrators of their parents' will, and yes, parties, friends can come together. MUAA-FCT, MUA Lagos, MUA Edo can come together and do a business. Whether it's bilateral, it is tripartite, it's multifaceted kind of business. But like I've said, when you want to go into that, sit down and clearly write. I have done an agreement for the federal government of Nigeria involving 16 countries. 16 countries. I have done for 18 ministries in Abuja. These are the most difficult part of agreements to write. But you have to sit down with all parties and everybody states his or her responsibility. If there's a need for sharing formula, we know what parties are to do, what comes in, where the proceeds go, and it should be written down. Parties should come into a business, but please clearly state what your intentions are. Like I said earlier, what is not clearly written cannot be implied.
Okay, thank you. So last question. There's a question on the chat group that's talking about business tax. And the person is saying, I would like it if you can throw more light on the newly established business/company tax. Can you say something about that? Just a little bit.
I have not read the latest. That should be the one our current president signed into law. I have not read. You know, the thing with our Finance Act is the act is maybe as old as 1962, but there are some sections they keep correcting, keep amending every day. So I wouldn't want to mislead us in legal analysis of what I do not know. But I feel some of our financial experts, I know we have one senior FIRS staff here. Kingsley may know a bit about that, because I know that is one sector they always try to handle clients' finances. So I would want to advise, but all I can assure you is I'll read through that, I'll make my analysis, and I wouldn't mind posting it on the platform.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. The church, I would have said I was blessed by your ministration. But thank you very much. Please, everyone, just drop a thank you chat on the group for Mr. Paul. I was really, really blessed, really. Okay, and for the tax, I'm very sure that by the time we have the physical masterclass, we're going to throw more light on that. And then Mr. Kingsley will also be speaking shortly, and I'm sure he can hear us and he will try to talk a little bit about that. So thank you very much, Mr. Paul. Please, everyone, drop an emoji for him, drop a note. Thank you. Virtue has left him, or pray for him. We need him to continue to be intelligent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so very quickly, we are going straight to the next talk. Mr. Michael of Celebrity HR, I hope you're there. And I'm just going to talk briefly on a little bit about him. Celebrity HR is a seasoned HR development consultant. He's skilled in closing gaps within the workspace. He is a decent work advocate and is passionate about talent acquisition. He is value-oriented. Workspace is also an award-winning HR generalist with wide range of success stories without small and medium enterprises. He has set up businesses. He has watched many businesses grow while creating and monitoring their structures. So personally, I want to say something about Celebrity HR. So I got to know him more closely last year, and ever since I met him, it has been value. And I know that he's going to do justice to his topic. Celebrity HR, please, can you take it up? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you,
Okay,
Sophia.
sorry. Before I even say something, Mr. Paul mentioned in his talk that whatever value you give out, you need to monetize it. So I've never been a moderator before. I hope I'm doing well. So if I'm doing well, please, I'm up for gigs. If you need someone to moderate in your online meetings, I assure you, I will make it as interesting as possible. Okay, so thank you very much. And if you have questions, kindly drop them on the chat and we'll attend to them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sophia. Of course, you did wonderfully, and you're doing well already. And I would say that it doesn't seem like it's your first time. Trust me. In fact, at some point, I was thinking, wow, this person is a pro. So thank you, and thank you every other person for joining. And it's one thing to set up, it's another thing for people to actually join. We understand you guys are very busy, and taking out time to come and do this is awesome. So let's have this. So we are having this as a teaser because, of course, we're going to have the proper masterclass physically on a later date. Of course, we'll announce that. And most time, while we're preparing this, somebody kept asking and was telling me, why is this thing called Masterclass for business owners? And it was like we're zoning some people away. This is actually for alumni, FCT, and every other person that is interested. You don't have to own a business to be part of this. Of course, even minding your business is a business, right? So everybody is allowed to be part of this, and everybody have an opportunity to also learn. The aim is so that you know how to structure a business, you know how to enjoy the business and get the proceed, and also the goals that you have also planned to achieve in your business. That is why we looked at the three thematic areas, which is sourcing of fund, managing your team, and of course the legal activities in this business. Once you're able to handle this, then of course you are at the right point. So moving into the topic properly, staff management. There are a lot of people that hire staff that do not even understand why they did. There are a lot of people that have staff that are not giving them value. And of course, the first thing that comes to your head is fire the person. It's not about hiring or firing. It's about having a structure. And part of what we're going to be talking about is, why do you even need a staff? You don't hire people just because you want to show that your business has arrived. You hire people to come and help you. If you already have a goal, that is why sometimes people start businesses without plans. People start businesses without a business plan, and they complain why the thing is not moving or why it's not giving them the desired goal. You must have a structure, and in your structure, the first thing to do is have a plan. The business plan would, of course, highlight the mission, the vision statement. So whenever you're hiring, you must hire people that align with the vision and the mission. Sometimes people don't even understand the difference between the mission and the vision statement. The mission statement, of course, is how do you get to your vision? Vision is future, while the mission is present. Once you're clear about this, then bringing people on board becomes easier. But when you don't even understand what you're doing a business because you've seen that it's lucrative. There's no passion, there's no plan. Of course, sometimes you might be successful through fluke, right? Or grace. But what keeps you in the business is a plan, and it's a strategic one. So the outlines we're having, we're going to be talking about briefly. Of course, I know I have about 15 minutes to talk. So the things we are going to be talking about will be the background.
5 minutes already. Thank you, sir.
I will try my best. Then we talk about the background briefly. We talk about why do you need a staff. We talk about how do you attract the right team. We talk about how to retain them. Then, of course, we conclude. So now there's a clear difference between having to manage a team and also to build a team. Of course, you cannot manage until you build. So you clearly need a strategic plan to build and sustain a team in order to realize your goal. Sometimes people start businesses and you don't hire the right set of people. Now, along the line, you start losing money. Along the line, you start losing focus. Along the line, the first thing you start thinking about how to sell off the business to the next person to either move on or thinking of partners. That is not the solution. Structuring is also very important. When you structure, then any partner coming in, of course, thank God for the information we got from Barrister Paul about partnership. A lot of people has their own experiences in partnership. Some people will tell you that partnership doesn't work in Nigeria. Some people will say people are greedy. Some people will say a lot of things. But of course, the aim of partnership is also very important, right? If you're partnering somebody, are you partnering this person because you don't have the fund? Is the person coming in to invest? Or are you partnering the person because you have the fund and you don't understand the skill? Is the person coming in with the skill? All those things have to be clear. Otherwise, it will seem like the smartest person wins. And of course, in that game, it's not a safe game. So why do you need a staff? You need a staff to achieve your goal. It's the same thing in team building. When I always like to use football to explain this because, of course, that's what people easily connect with. If I want to build a team in football, I look for who are going to be my strikers that will get me goals, who are going to be my midfielders that will help me distribute, and who are going to be my defenders to ensure that I don't concede goals, and of course the goalkeeper. So while I'm hiring, I'm being strategic about choosing the right people for various positions. So also in your business, there are key roles. You look at it. If you're talking about a restaurant now, you can't start a restaurant without thinking about a cook. Now, are you needing a cook or needing a chef? Are they different? Do you understand the differences? Are you going to create a recipe for consistency in taste? Are you also going to handle all other positions yourself, or you're going to outsource them? All these decisions are things that will help you choose or decide, why do I even need a staff? Then for new businesses, if your business is small, you're starting small, your capital is low, I advise that you should think if you necessarily need a full-time staff or hire people on ad hoc or consult or outsource. Sometimes it's the overhead that weighs down too much on the business that it seems like it's not working. Or maybe documentations, maybe you're not actually documenting your progress, right? Then how do you attract the right set of people for your team? What do you do? What do you do to get the right? People say if you pay peanut to get monkeys, yes, that might be correct. But of course, I'm of the school of thought that most time it's not about how much you pay. It's about the working condition. There's some welfare you place that becomes incentive for any salary you pay. Of course, it's advisable that you should pay industry standard. Yes, but I've also seen a lot of people that pay well, in quotes, but still do not get value. These days, value has been a scarce commodity in business space. And trust me, that is one of the problems that we are trying to address using our own platform. Because you see people come to work these days, they believe that the definition of salary is the compensation for coming to work and not for value added. So it makes it difficult because even as a business owner in hiring, you see people quoting high salaries, but when you ask them to justify that with the table, it becomes an issue. So value is it. And the way we go about this is setting your principles right, making sure the atmosphere for work is okay, making sure that the pay is reasonable. And there's something I also advise people when you're hiring. When you're hiring, always remember to ask certain questions. Where are you staying? Some people forget to ask. Some people feel it's not important. But if you want a stable team, you make sure that the salary is going to be beneficial to the person. How do you achieve that? You must know that, okay, in 30 days or 25 days that you're going to work, this amount is what you're going to be needing to sort your transport, feeding, and then the rest of them. Then you will be able to know if the salary for that role is even going to be sustainable before starting. If not, a lot of people come in thinking that there will be loopholes for them to fill up whatever they are not getting from the salary. So, and that begins the problem. Now, how do you retain these people? There are a lot of ways to retain them if you genuinely want to keep them. Of course, not everyone. I've seen some staff some business owners that will tell you, I don't keep them more than 1 year. Once they're more than 1 year, they start growing wing, they start stealing, and the rest of understanding that they have. So if you want to retain, then you must think about reward and motivation. Don't always talk about what they have not done. Identify those ones they've done and also acknowledge, recognize, and reward them. Now, about staff performance appraisal, how do you even know that this person has worked? How do you know this one is the best staff? You must organize appraisals periodically. You can choose to be quarterly, you can choose to be monthly. Watch them, see their strengths and their weaknesses, and see how to identify those ones that are low, improve them. Those that cannot be improved, then you take them away from the system so they don't pollute others. Now, about training and capacity building. Remember, we're talking about how do you retain the team. Now, training, a lot of people do not train their staff. They just believe that, you told me you're qualified, you told me you're experienced. Of course, that person might be experienced, but let's make this clear. There's a difference between I can do this thing, which is confidence, right? I have done it before, which is experience, and this is how we do it here, which is culture. So don't mix them up. Somebody might be experienced as a front office or front desk officer somewhere else, but of course not in your own style. So your own culture is different. So there's need for you to onboard them with training and occasionally look for gaps and train them to improve them so that your team will be stable and also add value. Now, you need to improve your staff welfare. There's no how you keep you continue with a particular structure and you expect a different result. So a lot of people do not do exit interviews. When somebody resigns or somebody identify or indicate that you want to leave your company, find time to do an exit interview. Find out what you're not doing right, why the person is leaving, then improve it on the other people so that they will stay. Occasionally, people say, I want to leave for career improvement. Some people say, I want to leave because of better pay. Some people say better conditions and the rest of them. Now, what are you doing for those people that are still loyal? That's how you retain good team. And there are sometimes I've noticed, I've conducted exit interview with a lot of people, and you end up changing their mind with these improvements. If you promise that you're going to do it, then you have to do it. Integrity is also key in this, right? Then pay well. After improving their welfare, you have to pay well. If you're not paying well, you're not keeping them because the economy today is not friendly to anybody, not to business owners, not to applicants, and not to employees too. So you need to find a way to balance it. While you're also trying to source funding for your business to be stable, don't rob the employees. You have to find a way to pay them well. And paying them well, if you're not aware, try to look for the industry standard in every position. And paying well is not when you're paying the industry standard. Paying well means you're a bit above the industry standard. I've seen business owners that when they were employees, they complain about small salaries. And when they own their own business, they pay any amount they want to pay. And when you advise them, it becomes an issue. You need to pay well if you want good services. You need to also think about how do these people save. If you work every day for 30 days in a month, and at the end of the month, the only thing you do is pay for your salary, pay for your transport, and then pay debt that you're owing. The next month you continue. Of course, you won't stay long in that business. And that's why you see people using your Wi-Fi to look for other jobs, for other businesses. Because they're not comfortable. So it's important for us to understand how to handle this team, how to make them happy, how to keep them. And just as we all know, this is the teaser edition. We're going to have a full-fledged masterclass, and it's going to be rewarding. We'll have a more detailed presentation. And of course, we also have time to address people's challenges and their problems. Thank you very much for this time. I'll be happy to hear your question.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Michael, Thank you very much. Very short, very precise. Thank you. Please, everyone, if you have any question for Mr. Michael, quickly drop it on the chat box. We have less than 3 minutes to handle questions. But Mr. Michael, I want to personally ask one or two questions. Sorry. Okay, so on the issue of you said something about hiring at will, I think. You said something like when you hire, the person is not performing, you fire, and all of that. Now, I don't know. I'm trying to get it. So I get business. I employ you, say make you do what you're supposed to do. You know, do am. You move now, get another person who go do am. Like that was what came to my mind when you said that. So please, can you clarify that, please?
Okay, thank you very much. You get business, but of course, you want your business to grow, and stability is very important. Okay, now people coming in and going out is not safe for the business. It's also not safe for the brand because, of course, there are a lot of people that look at no go that place, so they are not serious. And do you know that some of your customers come because of your staff? Yeah, right. So, of course, stability is in as much as you may feel, I can't beg this person to stay. There are a lot of them out there. I'll just organize, yes. But it's important to think about stability, right? So hiring and firing, there are a lot of jobs you would do. Now, why is this person not performing? Is it that the person is not trainable? Is the person, of course, it's not everybody that passes in class, right? So there are some people that will still eventually fail, but make an effort, conscious of effort. You ask questions. I've been with businesses that I see those people that from the beginning, when they come in, they don't perform well. They try to make a point or prove a point to you, right? And you will see them trying to do their best. So sacking them is not an opportunity for them to even learn in your space. They might not get better in another person's space. It's like you are the one doing the work, somebody else is harvesting. And I've also seen businesses where somebody is busy trying to train a team, and when they are getting better, other people are poaching them away.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah, so it's not easy. Being a business owner in Nigeria is not. I was with one of my clients yesterday, and he was saying that he has worked for he has owned his business for 10 years, and in these 10 years, he has not gotten any intervention from the government. Instead, he's paying tax. So you can imagine how frustrating that is to him. But people don't know what you go through. People just help you count your money. Imagine the money. They don't know what you're spending. People sometimes see your income because they have access to it, but they don't see your expenses. So as a business owner, you need to be strategic and think about the brand, think about what people think about it, and of course, think about stability too. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you. So there's a question here. Okay, Mr. Paul, I've seen you. You said the person who asked the business tax question should private chat you. So if you're the one who asked the question, kindly private chat Mr. Paul. Okay, so thank you. So what you're trying to tell us in essence, Mr. Michael, is that it's not really about hiring and firing. It's about taking your time to understand the strengths of your staff and channeling their strengths into growing the business or developing the business. Okay, so thank you. Then what advice will you give to people who are wired to naturally micromanage? So I've seen a few persons who they have staff, but I don't know if it is lack of trust. I don't know what exactly it is, or just their personality type. They are prone to micromanage. They find it difficult to delegate and all of that. Do you think that's good? Do you think it's a good thing? Some people say yes, it's a good thing. You're the owner of the business, you have to be there. And how can you just very shortly create a small balance about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Delegation is a good quality of a good leader, right? So we must always find a way to delegate. And micromanaging is not even for everybody. There are some people that do not want to be micromanaged. Some people want you to give them this job, trust them to do it, and they will deliver. So also give them opportunity to prove themselves, right? Now, micromanaging is not an issue of I own the business, I want to know what is happening. No. People can see reports to you without you micromanaging them. Because sometimes when you get too comfortable micromanaging everybody and everything, you'll find out that it might even be difficult for the business to function without you. And every business should live and continue to live above and beyond the owner, right? That's how you can transfer the business to people. So micromanaging is good, but delegation is a very key quality of a good leader. So I advise that you find a way to balance it. Try people, test people, take little risk in those positions that it wouldn't affect the business or there won't be too much consequence for risk. Trust them, and trust me, sometimes they will even surpass your expectation from them.
Okay, thank you very much. So everyone, you've heard it. Please help me send a thank you emoji and encouragement to Mr. Michael. I look forward to hearing more from you at the physical masterclass. Thank you very much. So if you're a business owner out there, you have staff, make conscious efforts to make your staff happy, conscious efforts to, encourage your staff and all of that, so that they will not use your Wi-Fi to go and look for a job. But now that one I take, I had to write it down. Let my staff not use my Wi-Fi to look for another job. Okay, so there's a question here I want you to just quickly address. Sir, there's a question here. Sorry, let me access the question. So what will you say about a business owner that wants to do everything by herself or without delegation? Okay, I think that question has been addressed. That's what you just addressed now, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I think that was sorted.
Yes.
But of course, just as I said, just in case the person didn't get the information, you don't want to do everything yourself. Of course, there won't be need for team, right? Please let these people do part of the job. That's why you hire them. And of course, the more they do, the more you expand. Because if you can trust them, then it's easier for you to now move into other spaces for expansion, right?
Okay.
It will limit your period of expansion. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so very quickly, we'll be listening to our last speaker, Mr. Kingsley Yakumwa. Let me just quickly say something about him. He's a dedicated member of the alumni. He a one-time secretary of the great alumni. Presently, he's into fund sourcing and grant process. Mr. Kingsley, please, if you can hear me, this grant processing is something I really like. Anything grant, anything, but let's go back to serious business. Okay, he's very knowledgeable and with business accounting and various awards. He has received various awards, including awards from Tony Elumelu Foundation. Mr. Kingsley, please, if you're there, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening, sir.
Loud and clear.
Thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here. I consider it a great privilege to be able to share some thoughts around what I've been chosen to speak about. You have given the introduction. I'm a regular and Lumina guy. Forget the accolades and anything. Those things don't really count in such stuff. So I'm here to talk about funding, and then I'll be as practical as possible. And I want to say something. I'm not an accountant. I'm an engineer. And then I'm going to share my experience over the years. I think that's really what's going to be more practical here. So first and foremost, I run a number of outfits. My background is IT.
Sorry, Mr. Kingsley.
Yes,
sorry, Mr. Kingsley. Please remember that this is just a taster. No, can't give them plenty. Then we'll tell them come for masterclass. They'll say no. Mr. Kingsley has given us everything. No. I beg you. No.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Please
I'll
go
try as
on.
much as possible. Yeah, thank you so much. So first, I'm an engineer, right? And then I moved from special engineer services down to business, and then from business now we're advancing as the Lord helps us. So in recent years, I'd like to share what really is a challenge for most businesses. And you know that every organization, cash is king. And no matter how great your ideas are, no matter how big your dreams are, there's a life wire that's sustaining, and that's funding. And so in this part of the world, usually it's a huge challenge for SMEs, especially when they are starting out. I'm sure that my elder brother here, Gaskia, who has worked in that space, shares something that is quite difficult for businesses, maybe because on their structures system to access funding is usually a challenge. So usually when you start out as a business, and your primary source of funding might be friends and families, you know. If you are privileged to come from a well-to-do family, then of course there are some things that can be bequeathed to you, and then you can use that to launch out. But for some of us who were not so exposed to such privileges, we've been on the grind. You have to put in the work. You know, you have to really work really hard. I mean, really hard. You know, so for most small businesses at this stage, what we go with the option of bootstrapping. Now, in other climes, there are multiple sources of funding. In fact, in the developed world, they encourage funding ideas because for them, they have this mindset that's been framed over the years that when a business is at the ideal stage and they can see the future, that's the best time to go leverage. So you see the big companies today that are doing so well, the social media companies. Even recently, I was just looking at the top 50 companies, and I looked at that NVIDIA, that makes AI chips, is now the most valued company in the world. It's $4.2 trillion. But 30 years ago, NVIDIA was not there. 20 years ago, NVIDIA was not there. 10 years ago. But in this window of AI sensation, all of a sudden, they're up there. So we're saying that in businesses, there's always this growth and tumble seasons that will determine how well you succeed as a business. So now bringing it down to what are the alternatives for someone who is just starting out and speaking as lame as possible. The first is that you need to put your structure in place. And I think my other brother Gaskia talked about it. The structures are very important. I learned that the hard way, that I can always advise someone now. Build a structure that people can invest in. No matter how small, even the small cubicle you have, once you have a structure, you know where you're going to, you can almost anticipate where the future of the business is, then you can attract the right kind of funding to it. So there's something they call angel investing. Usually it's people who like to look at businesses that are not so put together, but they can see the future. An angel investor can be a family, be a friend, be an alumni member who is well-to-do, or someone who is thinking of having alternative source of income and wants to go into business but doesn't have the grit for it. He then says, okay, I can partner with X company and say, okay, I'm going to give you 10 million naira, start out, but I want to see that you are put together. I want to see how your tractions, I want to see how your efforts, I want to see what your pitch deck is. Those are very important. No matter how small you are, please put those structures in place. It attracts funding on its own. Then also, I don't want to talk about the banks because the banks are not so friendly with startups. The banks will always fund existing where they can see where their repayment pattern will come from. So if you're a startup, that's not where to go to. Maybe in the future, as God helps you, you grow, then of course the banks can even come in. The other area we're looking at now that in this part of the world, and it's really beginning to make a lot of sense, is venture capital. So in the place of venture capital, there are a few companies that come into Nigeria and then invested in tech companies or a few companies. And one way that those companies did well. So for instance, I'll give an example. Someone like Paystack. You know, Paystack started doing online travel. They were doing Flutterwave, XR, and other payment platform. And then at some point, Stripe bought them up for $200 million. So, and that because of those kind of businesses that have done well, there's been an interest in trying to see what can work around this part of the world. So venture capital is also one way that you can exploit for funding. Then also, in recent times, what I've also seen is also the intervention funds that governments are also bringing in. Consumer credit funds, you know, if you're able to do a business, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's also something that is on ground. You can access a measure of capital if you're in the manufacturing industry on purchasing equipment. They call it credit line. So for instance, you're a shoemaker, as small as you are, you'll have one machine that puts shoe together and you're selling to maybe a number of customers. But in order for that business to take the next dimension, it has to scale. So then you meet this structure, this fund, and you tell them, do a business plan, do everything. And then if you're able to have your workings around there, they can give you a certain amount of money to buy an extra machine. So then you then begin to repay that fund. So that's one area that young businesses can exploit too. Then I'll talk about my own experience with Tony Elimelu. I was gracious to get $5,000. But I know some of my colleagues who took an extra step beyond the $5,000, went back to Tony and they bought equity into it. And that gave them a platform to also access more funding from their sister companies. So these are the things that are associated. For a business, you just need to be open-minded, read wide, be exposed, be enlightened to a number of opportunities that as you were. So that's about it for funding, right? For the small startup or a small business or whatever stage you are in, you always try to explore the window of opportunity that comes for the level of business you're in. So I'll finally end with one of the things we're currently doing as a business is that we try to see how we can scale our business to be able to attract the right kind of funding. So we partnered with guys in the developing space. And as I speak to you now, there's a conversation around the investment for funds for housing. So if you're in the construction business, there's a fund that is available by the federal government that you can access a single digit, and then you can start to have guarantors for your construction costs. So if you're in the construction industry or interiors, you can begin to collaborate as a community and see how you can exploit that. So that's what I can just read out now. Like she said, I don't want to come into too many nitty-gritties and details and pointers, not to bore us with too much information, but that's just what I can just present on the surface as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, thank you very much. So there's a question here for you. These structures, sorry, I don't know if you can see the question. These structures, what are they? As a starter that is going into business, won't these structures involve capital?
So yes, the structures, of course, my other brother, Gasky, had already talked about the fact that if you want to run a business, you must have registered. So the business has to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. And then what is the vision for the company as it were? No matter how small you are, there will be some financial commitment that you have to make as a person who wants to run the business. So structures like your financial standing, your corporate governance. People say that these things happen when you're a big company, but I beg to differ. No matter how small you are, things like corporate governance to exit, like what Jessica said earlier, when you are not able to separate between your business account and your family account. Those things come to haunt you in the future. So you might be thinking that those are too many informations. I'm just a mom and pop shop, and I don't need all those things. Let me give a story. Currently now, for even small businesses that do money point transaction, they're able to access credit facilities based on their turnover because all their transaction history are with their payment with their POSs and their transfer receipts. So OPay, Money Point, is giving loans to people that have reasonable amount of turnovers. So that's already another way for you to begin to explore funding. Imagine that your payment platform, where you receive your payments for your goods, and you're keeping a track of it to see that, okay, as simple as I don't want to receive cash and I want to have a track of how much it comes in, has built a portfolio for you to even access some measure of money to do business. So that's the importance of structure. And like we talked about the fact that you need to have a proper taxing system, because those are the things that any investor that wants to come in or support your business would look at. They will look at your taxing, how well you're paying tax, what your structures are, what your invoicing are. So no matter how small you are as a business, you must have it in mind that the system has to run properly and has to be organized. It's not a question about money as it were. It's a question about the mindset. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mindset is key. There's another question here. What is the best intervention or source of fund for a startup business? Mr. Kingsley, I'm actually interested in this one. Please answer it with lots of passion. Thank you.
Okay, I talked about the fact that for any small business, that's why we're privileged to be in a community. I've shared that even when I was privileged to serve, that our alumni is a community, and you never can tell the kind of idea that you have and who you share it with or who you're able to leverage with. They can just be your gateway to funding. You never can tell. So I believe first and foremost, for a small business, is your community first. It's your community first. So if you are privileged by family inheritance, of course, you can just talk to your dad or your mom or your uncle who is doing very well, and then put up a loan agreement structure, a funding structure for their business, and then they can give you that money. Then also, Tony Elimelu looks like he's the very serious, very simple way of getting. I don't know if say simple, but it's one of the ways because they're committed to giving 1,000 businesses across Africa seed funding. But because now there are more people who are coming on that platform, it's now more challenging to receive it. However, you can explore that option. Thirdly, also you need to begin to look at sources of funding. Let me give an example. I had a friend who started a business, and his idea was to create cold storage in the market in North. So he had a place in Maraba where people bring perishable goods and they store sports. And for there's $1 that's coming in, and his batteries for his refrigerators. But I remember
I think Mr. Kingsley's network is kind of has some issues, but can anybody hear me, please?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right, Mr. Kingsley.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So that brings me to the place. I was given a story of someone I know firsthand, right? That got $75,000, and that was in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember again. But that he had a business in a market in Maraba where he would put a fridge and a solar panel and he was storing perishables. Now, as he kept on, he had started building that. He was going to replicate that. He was going to scale that in a number of markets across the North Central. Fortunate enough for him that year, he got a grant. He got that grant and scaled. As I speak to you now, 3 years after, there's also another $100,000 that's coming into that business. And this time around, he wants to increase what they call ice batteries. It's a new technology. So I'm saying that it's just important that you look at the opportunities out there. In recent years, we have also seen a reasonable traction around agri-tech and clean tech. A number of industries that people are really looking at to see that we can help to improve businesses across these regions. So be open out there to just get the right requisite knowledge. Like I said, first you build the structure, then begin to look at the opportunities. As much as you can explore, you never can tell where you will stumble into and where you fit into in the nearest future.
Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Do you have social media handles? I think it would be nice to talk about this deal because truth is, I'm a lawyer by profession. I like money, but I don't know these things. I've done crayfish business. I've done palm oil. I've even tried. There's no business I've not done. There's one that ego, but sustainability is a challenge. knowing what to access and how to access is a challenge. So please, if you drop some of these insights on the group, it will help. I want to ask, are there people who help or who provide services in the form of advert these grants? For instance, I set up an NGO recently and I was told that I could get grants. How to do it, I don't know. How to go about it, I don't know. So I'm asking, are there people who provide these kinds of services? Secondly, is it advisable, like, is it okay for maybe a group of friends to come together to do something in order to be able to access grants? If you can just quickly talk about that, please.
Yes, I know that there are some people that help people, guide people from their own experience of receiving grants. Maybe I can mention to my friend if he can also just speak to those who will be interested. We can create a separate platform for that, so that he just tries to inform people what are the T's and the dots that you need to create, you need to cross on the grant space. The second question was whether you can come together. Yes.
Yes.
In fact, one of the beauty about communities, so that's one thing that people, different capacities by different people. So if you're able to sit down together and try to articulate something that you see that prospect, usually at that time, it might be someone or two people that are seeing the vision, but others are just, okay, we just want to be a part of the success story of this, and they want to cover everyone and their weaknesses and try to put it together and run with it. Usually at that stage, it might not be so concrete, but you never can tell that if you follow through on the processing, how far you can go with that. Somebody, like for instance, now if Chide wants to do something, me and Gaskia, and I mentioned to him that this is where I have a great area, how can you come in? It might not be him directly. It might be somebody that he knows that can say, oh, I have this stuff that is not going on. Can you help me to make this happen in this place? So community is very, very important, especially when it comes to even trying to harness funding. Community is very, very important.
Okay, so thank you. Someone is asking on the group, can you give us small insights on building loan from the government? Maybe a little tip. And then before, when Mr. Gaskia spoke earlier, someone had asked the question around tax. So if you have an idea of a response to that, you can also use this opportunity to say something. Thank you.
Okay, I'm also going to throw the part of my other brother to say that I've not studied.
No, that is fine. It's okay.
I've not looked at the finance bill, but it's quite an interesting bill. The summary we have seen is quite interesting. It has
does it favor the small business owners? Do you think it favors the...
It does.
Okay.
It does. It's skewed to. I think in the thoughts of the government of the day, they want to broaden the tax base. That has always been their agenda. So it is that make it less barriers for small businesses to play in, because it doesn't make sense that most informal businesses are not paying tax because maybe there are too many bottlenecks around it, right? So one of the things they try to reduce the number of encumbrances, number of multiple taxes that are available, so that it's just more like a few taxes that you need to pay, and then enlightening people. So the whole goal of it is to increase the tax base, and then it means more small businesses will come on board. So you can see most part of it is in a way trying to favor small businesses. But the idea is not to be doing small forever. He will also grow one day. And then the more you grow, the more you fall into.
But if you choose to remain small, it will be an offense, Abi.
I don't even encourage people to remain small, because you quickly die of it. You remain small, yes.
Okay, thank you. So please, I would like to beg,
just to add on this tax stuff.
If you can also speak with Mr. Gaskia to do like a summary of that bill or of that act, the new finance act, and drop on the group, it will help us, please. Thank you.
Okay, sure, we can look at it. So, but I wanted to answer a question. That's one of the things I think somebody just said.
The building loan, yes.
Can you hear me?
We can hear
Can
you
you hear
now.
me? Yeah. Okay. So, you know, it's good that one of the things that you try to look at as a business or as an individual is to look at the opportunities around the space. Yes, the complaint is, can you just slow down? I'm in the meeting. Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so sorry. I think it was last year, this year, the government said they wanted to catalyze the housing market. Just try to see a way around how they can help activities within that space. So they thought it through and raised 150 billion as intervention funds for the real estate market. But this is quite different. And it's different in the sense that it is government, private, public collaboration. So when they raised the money last year November, this year, April, 18 private companies came together and raised 100 billion. Now the matching fund for that is ₦1 trillion. That's where we're going to. So this fund is docile with ARMS Investment Management. Now ARMS has been licensed to the PMIs to give loans at single digits. So it means that you can access mortgage financing in Nigeria now at single digits. So there are a number of other people that play in that space, like FMDN, FHA, NMRC that refinances the PMIs. But this is quite different because it's an intervention. And so we have been privileged to be part of the brokers for that. One of the businesses I run is part of that system now. And then we're with ARMS. So you can structure home financing for anyone who wants to own a home. And these loans are for both individuals, salary earners, businessmen, and then those in diaspora. So all you just need to have is, if you're a salary earner, have between 10 to 20% equity on the value of the property. And then we can look at your finances and then we can propose a loan structure for you. Our turnaround time for delivery is 60 days, which is about the fastest in the market. We could even do lesser. So turnaround time around documentations and requirements from the customer. So that's about it. And this fund is going to get to ₦1 trillion by 2027. In fact, they're going to raise another bond for it by next year to raise about 500, and last tranche should be about ₦1 trillion. And it's for 99 years. So it's a long-term financing structure for homes. So if you know anybody that wants to buy a house, doesn't have complete money, you can check MREF or you can speak to us in that direction.
Sorry, did
I
you
didn't get
say Emerald?
that last
Because
part.
I won't buy house. My ear just stand. I beg, bro, stop that thing again.
So
I didn't get
should
that
I
last
start
part.
from the beginning?
No.
No.
Just
The
start
last
from where
sentence.
you want to buy a house and you don't have money. Now that one.
So like I said that you don't need to have the full money. All you need to have is, if you have spotted the property that you want to buy, and you just need to raise between 10 and 20% equity. I advise for 20 because the more your equity, the lesser the repayment structure is for you. So for instance, let me give the math. If your property is 15 million naira in somewhere around Maraba and the 2-bedroom you want to move in there, you need to raise minimum of 1.5 million naira, and then you prove to us that you can pay 13.5 million over 20 years. Now, also the loan tenure is also a function of the age of the individual and your earnings. So that's about, for businesses, it's on your turnover. We look at your turnover, your management cash flow. So like I said earlier, in this kind of places where you're trying to explore funding, if you don't have a corporate governance as a business, you will be knocked off. I know Gaskia can testify to that. When these kind of opportunities come for you to use your business to leverage and maybe own properties, you are kicked out because there's nothing that shows that there's a structure around the business. So that's about it. I hope that answered the question. Did it?
My brother, I just want one clarification, no vex. So when you were talking about somebody who wants to buy a house, okay, and the person should raise 10 or 20%, all right? You said Maraba You did not call like Jabi or Wuye, or are you saying that you want to buy house in Wuye or Mabisham? Some people will not help me. My brother, I have a sister, no verse. I know that there are lots of people
Okay.
on my table. I bet. And can I call you
Okay,
after
okay.
this? Because this is
No,
very important to me right
So
now.
I'm open to it. But let me
Thank you.
tell
I
you.
have saved your number. I'll call you like 4 times so that you know that they won.
Okay. Let me just brief the house on something. So one of the reasons why this fund is very critical at this time is because
Is there a threshold? Sorry, please. Is there an amount threshold?
threshold for
Is
100
there
million.
an area?
Yes, there's a threshold for 100 million. Yes, that's the max we give, 100 million.
Thank you, sir. Please
So,
continue.
but the thing is this, this is a bittersweet experience because for us in the housing sector, we have seen that in the last 2 years, the cost of construction has skyrocketed, has increased. And that's because from our own review in the industry, 70% of our construction materials are imported. So inflation is just killing the whole thing. So the price of houses is increasing. So a house that was 70 million in 2023, 2022, 2023 goes for about 140 million now. So when I said Maraba, in fact, in Maraba now, if you want to develop a house in Maraba, your price point is almost 50 million naira. I kid you not. If you want to get a house of 25 million less, you're talking about almost Caro. That's not Sarawa State. So the price of construction has increased, and there's nobody that is doing free lunch in business. Everybody wants to make a profit. You need to take care of your staff. You need to take care of yourself as a business owner. So there will be margins for it. So, but as brokers, we've been able to understudy and look at the rudiments around it. So there are things that we can advise. And if I'm to talk to alumni now, I know that yes, a number of us are maybe in our late 30s, early 40s, and then our career level is maybe mid-level. So our earning strength is still growing, it's progressive. I know that in the next 10 years, people will be more financially buoyant to accommodate certain things. So those are the kind of things that we look at. And so if you look at your business, we can almost project that, oh, this guy has done this for like 3 years. It's likely that in 5 years, this is where it's going to be. Then we can take the risk and say, okay, I think I can talk to one of my, because there are 12 banks under our platform. I can reach out to one of them and say, okay, no, I've got this guy whose projections are very good in the last 3 years. It's possible that he could do better. Can you give me 100 million? That's where our strength and negotiations come in. So the problem is the cost of construction, man. It's not necessarily because we want people to live outside. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be rest assured that you'll be getting a call from me like 4 times or thereabouts. Please, I apologize in advance. But I'll be tormenting you real soon. So thank you very much. I personally enjoyed this. And please, if you did, kindly drop an emoji, a chat. Let's thank Mr. Kingsley. He's been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And we just have 5 minutes left. And I want to open the floor for everyone. If you have thoughts, if you have questions, kindly drop them at this point. 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, my own is just I have, like I've discussed with you, my learned senior, I have a particular bias with my legal committee, which you have always told me we need to extend it to the house. I just to make it known, even if I have discussed that with you at length, in our ways of giving back to the association, I'll discuss with the chairman further and the electoral and the executive committee. We will likely see how we can help some small businesses register their companies with the Corporate Affairs Commission.
Yes.
But there are some caveats attached to that. I'll discuss and I'll discuss with the chairman who creates conditions. The aim is to make people active and to give back to the association in our own literature. So tomorrow they will say, oh, association aided us to start our business small, and today see where we are. So I want to appeal to members to take things like this very much serious. There is always a beautiful part of this kind of association. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up. Actually, the assisting members to set up their businesses or to register their businesses would help a lot. I think one of the caveats should also be, if you're helped to, register your business, know that we're giving you 5 months, so you will help another person. Like, we should also push some form of responsibility, on these persons, so that they'll know that, look, they're not just helping you to go and rest, we're helping you to help another alumni. So it will be really glad to do that. Okay, so Anne sent me a message on chat. She's been trying to join, but she wanted to, she talked about an issue and she asked me to please raise it. So let me just raise it now. She mentioned that when it comes to business consultancy, that I don't know if it's us, that maybe sometimes we don't avert our minds to some things. She said there are some people who have businesses online. Like, their businesses, they make their money from maybe YouTube subscribers, the views on their videos, their Facebook videos, their TikTok videos, and all of that. And she was suggesting that another way we could help ourselves and encourage ourselves is by consciously, following, maybe on TikTok, subscribing to pages of fellow alumni on the platform, following on Facebook, viewing, watching these videos on Facebook and all. Now you're not giving me money. The data, even if whether or not I watch your video on YouTube, on Facebook, or on TikTok, I will still use the data. So just the way we have a market day, for people to advertise their businesses, we should probably also think of a day when people can showcase their online presence for us to, who knows, if I showcase my professional TikTok page and I get 100 followers from the alumni and 100 more views from Haba, it's something. I think it's something we should think of. Mr. Chairman, I hope you're on this call. Please, it's something I think we should think about. It's another way of encouraging ourselves. Please, everyone, I dropped a poll on the WhatsApp chat. After now, we would really like to know what you think of this. I would like everyone to please drop a review on the WhatsApp group and also vote on the poll whether you would want a physical class. Personally, I want to kidnap Mr. Kingsley for the physical class. I want him to tell me everything I need to know. It is very important. About Mr. Kingsley, no vex, I will drag you. I will drag you until I'm blessed. You know the way Jacob fought with that angel. You are my angel. I will drag.
Okay,
So, but please, everyone, also please, I beg now. Mona, tell me thank you. I don't try. Virtue has left me.
well
I've
done.
been
Well
moderating.
done. Well done. Well done.
Speakers, well done, well done, well done. I'm not even seeing anybody saying, Sophia, oh, well done, no, you have tried.
Sophia,
Oh.
well done.
Okay,
Sophia, well
thank
Now,
done.
Yeah.
you.
we'll do,
We
Thank you.
celebrate
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
senior, we'll do vote of thanks now.
No
Abby,
problem.
we'll
I
do vote
have
of thanks.
chosen to be the Agama lizard that will not. I cannot be patient to wait for the bone again. I want flesh. I beg. You push apologies. Okay, so we've come to the end of this business consultancy segment. I personally am looking forward to the physical masterclass. Mr. Chairman, please, you need to take closing remarks, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Barrister Sophia.
Sorry, sir. I just saw Nwagu Franklin. He said, Sophia, well done. I'm enjoying Abuja alumni. I'm Nasarawa State Chairman. Hey, only me.
Yeah.
Extra chairman, Conde the Cole. Aye, chai.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We got the flyer in the National Working Committee, And I can
Okay.
say about 2 members of the National Working Committee joined us.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
the the chairman of the Nasarawa chapter also joined us. In fact, he has been complimenting you and Mr. Kunwa privately. In fact, he said he would have loved to join the Abuja, if not that he's the chairman. So
He's telling you to join.
he
We don't used to discriminate. You should
no,
come.
and he has an empty actually, and he said he would like to partner with a lot of you. So it's
Oh, that would be
possible
nice.
as you also do the same thing for the Nasarawa chapter,
I'll be
but he will
glad.
pay me. He will pay me. And he's actually my classmate. He's my classmate from school. So, in fact,
No
my
problem.
class has produced about 4 state chairmen. Me, Nasarawa, and the present Lagos state chairman, and Celebrity HR, we are all classmates.
Abeg,
So,
una try produce governor, abeg. Una try
like the
produce
plan, like the
governor.
plan. So I want to really thank you, ma. Despite you coming back today from your long waka, I didn't even know you were going to moderate. I thought maybe you'll meet us halfway. But I'm very, very grateful how you handled this whole thing, how you moderated it. Actually, I'm impressed. I wasn't surprised because when you handled us last year, when you took us on a physical class, it was really engaging and interesting. And I believe after now, we'll be coming out for the physical class. We'll discuss better on this and plan it and see if there's a way we will subsidize it for our members, because we plan on having certified courses which people can use to gain employment or other something useful. The certificate won't just be kept. It's something that will be of great benefit to them. So I want to thank all of you. Thank the Human Resource Committee. Thank our speakers, Barrister Paul Gaskia, Engineer Kunwa, and my brother, Celebrity HR. I thank you very much. Thank you, my fellow audience who watched all this, and our moderator, Barrister Sophia. God bless you all immensely and meet you at your point of need. Thank you very much.
Thank you. By point of need, you mean that house that I want to buy, that I want to comment Mr. Kingsley. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for having us till we come again or till we meet physically for the masterclass. Thank you, everyone. To the speakers, any last words? Mr. Paul, I feel like you wanted to say something. Mr. Paul, are you here?
I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm here.
All right.
I'm fine. We have done well. Well done, everybody. Well done, senior.
All right. Thank you. Celebrity HR, you want to say something?
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. Most especially Sophia, the moderator. I'm very happy we did this. Right. Well done. At some point, we were thinking it wouldn't work, but it did. So well done. But I think there's something the chairman is forgetting. The gift, the ticket for the tomorrow movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's a movie, they call it Hakim. Hakim Seeking Justice is a good movie, is a blockbuster movie that is up. It was premiered last week, that's on the 1st. So we had the privilege to be working with one of the producers. Actually, we have a collaboration with him. He's one of our partners, and we are trying to support and promote that movie too for him. So that's where we are pushing, and he gave us some tickets which we want to share. But of course, we need to choose some people for the tickets, right? So I think I will leave that honor to the chairman of the alumni to pick the people he feels. Of course, it has to be people that participated in this program. So we need to know who will be available and how many people that will work. So thank you very much. I think you should let the chairman talk on that. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, please, do you want to address it now? Mr. Chairman, please, can you hear us? Do you want to address it now? Okay, I'm not sure he's on this call, but I promised everyone that Mr. Chairman would address the issue of the tickets immediately at the on the group chat. That's a promise. I'll make sure he does that. Mr. Kingsley, do you want to say anything? Any final words? Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for being on this call. I enjoyed myself, actually, and thank you very much. Princess K, you want ticket, so that's noted. And then Mr. Randy, we got your apology, and your apology is accepted. We love you. Thank you very much, everyone. From all of us at the Human Resource team, we thank you very much for your cooperation. Good night, everyone, and see you at the master class. Mr. Peter.
Masterclass again. At the general meeting, which is masterclass again.
General meeting. When is the general meeting, please?
We're having a meeting next month. Alumni meeting next month.
Yeah, the meeting is different from the business masterclass, the physical business masterclass.
As the date be fixed for the physical one.
Don't worry, we would inform everybody. On the
error, well done, oh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tamaga.
Thank you, everyone. Good night. Thank
you. Thank you, Softy. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for all you did. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
you, celebrity and the group. Thank you so much. You people are so lovely. We appreciate you.
Thank you too.
You want that MC work now?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Salute you too much. Thank you. I'm just coming in. I go do MC for our member for Life Camp. I just enter.
Wow. Plenty rice.
I tell you, and chicken plus goat meat.
As the bachelor there, maybe you can take away.
You know this matter now. Hey. And the bachelor life no easier.
Chairman,
I mean, wait, Chairman, we talk about my wedding. No, Chairman, have fun.
Okay, bye-bye. Don't be very good talk about bye-bye. This thing is on YouTube, oh. All these are careless talk, YouTube.
I don't die. For the bye, good night.
Yeah, later, bye-bye. Good night.
Yeah, good day, sir.
What did they end this course?